Shouts out to everyone that commented, by the way, on my last video. Thank you so much. That meant a lot to me and my mom. Like, for real, for real. Cookie was the GOAT. And thank you. There's no other words I can, put into that. What's going on, YouTube? In today's video, it's going to be a little different from the usual. I'm not going to be talking about building tips or piece control tactics. I do have videos about that. I have specifically 2 videos with that. If you want to go check those out, go ahead and check those out. There's some useful stuff in there. Realistically, you don't need too many things to be able to piece somebody, but there's some good stuff to always take away from those videos. But anyways, in today's video, I want to talk about a serious thing that occurs in any form of training, and you will always hear me talk about it, but something's called burnout. And in burnout, you can experience that in many things. Like, you can experience that in any facet of life. You can get burnout from school, you can get burnout from training, like hitting the weights. But in Fortnite, it's a very real thing. Too many tutorial videos I have seen across YouTube. They'll explain how they grind for 3 hours, 4 hours. And when you really think about it, we're not freaking vampires. That stuff is kind of weird to do. I'm not sure about you, but I've seen what grass looks like, and I know what the sunshine feels like on my skin. That's weird stuff to do. I'm sorry. But on a real note, you just you should always find the balance in things. Like, the results of burnout, obviously you can sleep deprive yourself. It can make you change your eating habits. You know, obviously you get sick from this type of stuff. Like, not only you get sick of the game, you get sick of yourself, you get sick in general. And obviously you're not doing too good, you're not going to play good. So it's counterintuitive to burn yourself out or to overtrain. It's always something I've always talked about. And obviously, with that being said, you can also experience different type of emotional outbursts. Obviously, because you're sleep deprived, you're a little cranky. That can also put self-doubt in you, because now you're kind of depressed. You're not getting sunlight, so bro, you're a hobbit now. I don't know what else to tell you. And that can obviously decrease your motivation, because you're not doing well and your performance has been going down. And physically, obviously, you lowered your immunity, you have headaches now because you're not drinking water, you can't, you're dehydrated for some reason the entire day. I'm telling you, there is a balance to find. When I was explaining in the aim video previously, in that tutorial, I was explaining I did not put much time on my aim. I don't think anyone should put realistically much time. When it starts to become boring, that's how you know you're starting to experience burnout, when it's no longer fun, the thing that you found really enjoyable in the game. And that being said, things that you should obviously do to avoid burnout: just get sleep. Realistically, you just need sleep. You just need to practice on other things. I actually encourage other people to play different games. Don't just stick on Fortnite. You'll see what I mean by that. If your buddies play Halo, bro, go play with them. Or realistically, if you have a hobby, you run, you box, you skateboard, anything like that, yeah, continue to do stuff like that. You don't want to just stick yourself in this one category that I'm a Fortnite gamer. That shit does not work. I'm gonna be real honest. The people who reach the top, bro, let's be real, dude. These dudes got fucking overgrown toenails, and they have a permanent ass impression in their chair. You do not want to end up like that. I'm gonna be real honest. Obviously, another thing you can do on top of that, you can meditate. Spend dedicated time with your family or your friends. Set aside time for that. Don't put hours on Fortnite unless it's a weekend. You can go ahead and burn it through if you want. It's fine to do that on occasion. Treat yourself sometimes. But to do that on a regular basis, like, I don't gotta tell you, that spark or the interest in the game goes away, and now it becomes more like a self-loathing kind of thing instead of like an enjoyment and a treat for yourself. And with that, I would like to get into a philosophy that I like to preach a lot, the Wu Wei. Like, it's the art of doing nothing. And I know that may sound kind of crazy at first, but pretty much it just means minimalistic. It's to find the balance in things. You need to understand, like, when one is relaxed and you go with the flow of things, like, you'd be surprised. This applies to about everything in life. In boxing, you're rolling with the punches because sometimes a guy can just swarm you. And if you were just standing there stiff and getting angry while he's whacking away at you, like, you're probably gonna get slept. It's the same thing in Fortnite. If you're standing there getting pissed while he's just blasting away or just trying to spray SMG, like, you might get smoked. But you can see, if you're relaxed, the opening in those moments when he is walking in gun ho. You can just boom, blast him right to the head once. It's the same thing in boxing. If he's just swinging away, you can just time that perfectly when he throws a left hook and you catch what on your mitt. Now you can throw your right cross and then right to your own left hook. Understand too that when I'm like saying this stuff, like talking about the relaxing part, I can't tell you how many games I've recently throwed so hard playing with my buddies because I was experiencing personal burnout. It wasn't from Fort in general. It was from just like where I work, just and just life happens, and it was catching up to me, and it was because I wasn't taking care of myself. So with that being said, like, shouts out to my buddies that obviously remind me to relax because ultimately I do play better when I'm relaxed. I'm not anxious, or I'm not getting angry over the little things. Like when you truly let go of the results and you're just enjoying and having fun, you'd be surprised how really well you actually start playing. Another thing I like to talk about with that, like, obviously when you're relaxed, you know how to respond appropriately. Aside from just relaxing in the moment, there is times when you have to be the one to be the hammer. Like, you're the one doing and initiating. You're not the one waiting. And you will know when to do that when one is really relaxed. Like, obviously, there's a balance to everything. And I'm going to show this little diagram on the screen here, and you can see where, honestly, like, this is a perfect representation of that. Like, it is a fine line of balance that you need to find within these things. There is something of, like, knowing when to work and knowing when to rest. Like, in wrestling, I can always be moving, I can always be engaged, like, keep my footwork up and, like, make sure I'm, like, moving my opponent. But obviously there is going to be a time where I'm just overdoing it. It's the same thing in Fortnite. Like, when someone is just going away, just overbuilding, like, this is how I like to catch the ADHD Timmys when they're essentially overbuilding. It's kind of like they're over dribbling in basketball. You can just kind of reach in once and you just smack the ball away. Like, there's no need to be doing all that. Like, there's no need to edit course. That's honestly such a dead thing to know. Like, how many kids can edit course, but yet they can't even like win a solo game. It's just the truth to that. But the last thing I would like to explain about the Wu Wei philosophy, the Wu Wei philosophy, is let go of the results. That same kid who practiced all that, eventually one day, he got tired of like getting smoked like that, and he probably went through some frustration trying to learn how to edit course, and it just eventually came to him. It's kind of one of those things. Like, you have to let go of the results. Like, winning is not ultimately the end of this game. It is just part of the game. If you couldn't win, you couldn't lose, and if you couldn't lose, you couldn't win. Sorry if I sound like some, like, I don't know, like, if I sound like some ancient Chinese dude or something, but dude, like, it's just one of those things. I've been noticing like a lot in like Fortnite tutorials, like just people just talking about like just gassing up hours, and I don't know, like I said, it. I guess if you're trying to go pro, that would be the way, but this channel is not for that. This channel is meant for like, you're a working man, bro. You're trying to get good at this game. Here's the steps I've taken just to get good, and it's not really anything crazy. Like anyone can truly do this. Like it is, this game is meant to be enjoyed. I understand how this game got ridden over by sweats, dude, but like these sweats are really nothing to sweat about. They suck. You can make them suck. And with self-confidence, a fresh, relaxed mind, a lot can be achieved. And thank you, and just have a wonderful day.